And I want to do a correction, though, as a journalist, as someone who cares about the truth, as someone who's making a documentary about credibility in media and ethics in journalism and ethics in media and owning a media company while being a politician and all that shit. Calling out Cenk and Anna for spreading misinformation about their own workers. When I say there, Anna's not management. She doesn't deserve the same level of ire as does the person who actually is calling the shots. But she did signal boost the company's bullshit lie, and has yet to retract and apologize for it. So we're just going to play this opening, and then I'm going to correct something that I had gotten egregiously wrong. I failed. I really fucked up, and I'm going to say I'm sorry for it, but I want you to see it first. Here's the opening bit. Let's see. Okay, we'll just play it. We get to it pretty fast, but this is going to be me talking on my podcast. This happened.
Oh, by the way, you're so pro worker, right? Then why are why is your ex-staff accusing you of being a union buster then?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'll answer all these, even though, so this is just random.
Are you a union buster?
No, I'm definitely not a union buster. So.
There's evidence that proves otherwise, though.
What evidence? All right, brother, you've had a nice run. Bye-bye.
Panic hangs up on the guy, doesn't pause. Panic hangs up on the guy, doesn't want to talk about his union busting. Uh-oh, run! Oh no, accountability, run! That's my Cenk Uygur impression. Fuck! It works better if I wear an ill-fitting sport coat. I want to talk about the union busting. Hi, everybody. I'm Hank. I helped start the union. You know this. Let's skip just a few minutes here. This person calls in. Who is this person? Hanzi, we call this person. Former Howard Stern caller, Hanzi. Actually, this guy who called in is a dude named Hanzi. He calls into the Matt Binder program. He's another guy on YouTube.
Hey, Hanzi, the moment everyone's been waiting for. That's why people watch this show. Not for me, but for Hanzi's calls.
Because then they opted.
Hanzi earned himself his own song and intro from the YouTube royalty-free library. And by the way, DaVinci Resolve. Why can we get some easier stop motion, motherfucker? Jesus Christ! Just give me a checkbox. No, I said stop motion. I meant to say motion blur. That's actually what I want.
You were on there for a while, man.
Well, the whole point was even though that call didn't really go anywhere specific, at the end when I accused him of being a union buster, because there's some ex-employees of his that have been doing compiling threads about the evidence of Cenk trying to stop the union back a couple of years ago. I did that I was all over the place, but I wanted to get that portion out, so that got clipped by a lot of people. Like the one guy that does the threads that worked for TYT, who said that Cenk did stop the union. He compiled the whole thread, but I wanted Cenk to deny it on the air in order for it to really mean something. So at least I got that out of it. But I did like my line about saying that I'm going to name my band after them, the transphobic pieces of shit, or whatever. I thought that was pretty good. But
Matt Binder also does stuff with Majority Report. Super nice dude. And so I recognized the guy's name when he tweeted it out. So Hanzi, his name is Scott. No, that's not true. His name is not Scott. I trusted the name that was in the part where people put their name, and now I look like a fucking idiot, like a fool, like I don't have any ethics. I should have fact-checked it. I don't go around fact-checking people's names when it sounds like a name. Sound like a little bit of a weird name, but I wasn't judging someone's fucking name. Everybody's name sounds weird. They're all what are we be like? So Hanzi seems like a very good guy, honestly, and he's a hero of this story. That sequence he just watched, some version of that with better motion blur, will be included in the final version of the film because it's absolutely critical to see for people to understand that Cenk is hiding. Cenk is terrified of having to honestly explain to his audience why his workers unionized. You've heard my whole story about me misclassified in order to not get benefits under multiple classifications, but it's just, the generalized disrespect and all the other, whatever the workers won, they tweeted out what they did and, pay raise and firing protections and such and stuff like that. I'm recalling from their tweet. I'm not telling you anything. I don't know what else they got, but that's the stuff that needed to be addressed that we could only fix with collective bargaining. So anyway, Hanzi is not named. I want to just switch. So this is my summary of, let's go to that tweet here. I had called this guy Scott. I said, I even I was trying to be respectful. I assumed that Hanzi was some online nickname. So he goes, but here he says Scott Halal, and I had put him in the transcript, or I don't know what you call this, but Scott, are you a union buster? And so SH, Scott Halal, that's what that is. And I kept referring to him as Scott. And the nice man that he is, he clearly knew I wasn't out to try to make him feel bad or something, but he came on Twitter and says, hey, just to clarify, I keep laughing when you say this in the video. My name is not Scott, it's Imran. Scott Halal is a spoof of the wrestler Scott Hall. See, halal, is that a food or something? That I have no idea. I'm really ignorant. All right, Imran. Why don't you put your fucking name in the goddamn part where you put your name, Imran? See, this is why I don't have friends, guys, by the way. This is the problem. So I told him, I said, not according to my research, Scott. He retweeted that. So we're having fun. I promise to retract and apologize. And unlike TYT, unlike journalism professor Anna Kasparian and master media mind and the mastermind of capitalism, slightly better capitalism, Cenk Uygur, I will fess up when I got something wrong, admit that I was incorrect, and apologize to my audience for sending them down a course that might not have been the truth and the proper level of investigatory praxis. I failed. I fucked up, and I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to Scott. I'm sorry to Imran Halal. What's your last name? I don't really, you don't have to tell me. It's not like when I say I don't care, it's not that I don't care. It's just that it literally doesn't matter. Maybe you don't want your last name out there. Yeah. So yeah. I really don't care about stuff like that. And it's genuinely not like your name doesn't matter. It's just like whatever it is, it's going to be something. So it's all the same to me, you know? So yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, buddy. Didn't mean to fuck up. I'll probably just try to call you Hanzi, but I've got you labeled Scott in my brain already. So I have the kind of brain that sometimes things can be real sticky. It can also be real not sticky, but nevertheless, shout out to Imran's contributions to the project for being an annoying, persistent caller and getting under the skin and actually confronting a union buster for their union busting. You much deserved animation, much deserved motion blur. I had to do this, man, not that one.
Hey, Hanzi, the moment everyone's been waiting for. That's why people watch this show, not for me, but for Hanzi's calls.
This motion blur, watch, ready? Right there. There's like 3 frames. I just did directional blur. It's really annoying to do it manually. There's other ways of doing motion blur in DaVinci, in Fusion, but just give me a fucking checkbox. Everybody wants motion blur when they do transform effects, man. That one, no motion blur on that one, but it's so sudden. But anyway, so Hanzi gets a big yellow text for doing what nobody in the progressive sphere has done. Nobody online has called Cenk out for his union busting. Nobody on any single show he's gone on has ever asked him about it and forced him to say something about it and address this massive thing that's hanging out there. So hopefully that happens sooner than later. Not that everybody in the progressive sphere is always on the air with Cenk precisely. I know that. It's not necessarily the case. But only someone like Imran had the guts to do it and to say something and to take advantage of the time when he was taking phone calls. So good on you, man. Well done. Keep it up. I think the left needs to follow Imran's example. Maybe instead of figuring out which woke words we should stop using in order to appease the right wing as if they don't have enough institutional fucking bias, maybe we should follow Hanzi's lead. Maybe the future we need is where people stand up to powerful people on behalf of working class people. Maybe the progressive sphere should follow Hanzi's lead here, not to just make it only about Cenk Uygur. I'm saying that like it did occur to me. I did kind of realize like this whole conversation that's happening on the left right now about what's next. Oh, we got Jay Leno with he fell down. He's hurt, so we'll get to that in a second. But we got this whole conversation about what's next and how's the left supposed to recover and this and that and all. You know, there's this whole ongoing discourse about it right now. And this whole story kind of captures exactly it. Do we keep just bullshitting and trying to find the right marketing slogan? Now Cenk has decided he's an economic populist. He likes to describe himself, there's the 2016 Bernie Sanders populists. Really, Cenk? Does that include union busting? Does that include lying about union busting? Smearing your own workers publicly? Is that the kind of Bernie politics that the populists are for? Shit pay? Using that classification to not give people benefits? Stuff that Bernie would probably find abhorrent? I find it abhorrent. Or is it empowering workers to gather into groups and to create the conditions for solidarity? Because that's what we need. We need the conditions in which solidarity can flourish. Because solidarity is the strongest fucking thing we got. That just means people looking out for each other. People can pursue other forms of building community locally, doing mutual aid, working to build their foundation within their own world offline. All very important factors in it. But in these labor battles, maybe we should be leaning towards this kind of thing. Workers actually saying enough with this shit. We're not putting up with it anymore, and we're going to do something about it. And we're going to stand up to these people that have all the power. Because that's what happened at the Young Turks. We weren't looking for slogans. We were just looking for one of us to get health insurance, as well as other reasons. But yeah, all right.